ask to invite our next speaker, Ibu Dessi, to provide your inputs into this. You will be talking about Indonesia voluntary carbon market. So what does that relate to Pak Denny's presentation, and perhaps something that you can see from the topics relate to others? But please, the mic is here. 15, 20 minutes. Feel free to walk around if you want to.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Pak Lastio. Yeah, first of all, thank you for IDCTA for organizing this event. And thank you for let me and CarbonX shares about voluntary market and also about how CarbonX can contribute to the market. The voluntary market is the companies or industry need to reduce their emission reduction first. But there's sometimes it's very difficult for companies to reduce their emissions because probably the technology is very expensive for them to change the technology to reduce their emissions in short term. So to meet their emission target, they can purchase carbon credit from projects. Yeah, so that's called offset activities. Yeah, why carbon market? As I said before, is cost effective. It can be a potentially for companies who really think this is very expensive for them because the technology is expensive. They can find a cheaper way to reduce their emission by offsetting their emission. Yeah. That's the first. The second one, voluntary market already has an established market ecosystem. So this is the market ecosystem in voluntary market. In the right-hand slide is actually international, but for national market, it's quite the same. Yeah. So Indonesia already offer variable potential for nature-based solutions. Also already explained by Pak Ignatius in the previous presentations. We have from nature-based solution to engineered solutions. Nature-based solution can be that avoided plan, meaning that we avoided plan for companies to deforest a forest and convert that to a conservation license. This is already explained by Pak Ignatius before that Asia provide a lot of opportunity for nature-based solutions. 15% are from Indonesia. So that is the study from BCG estimated that Indonesia voluntary carbon market could achieve a value of 4 to 6 billion by 2030. So a lot of opportunity, yeah, positive messages for international voluntary market. Next. So despite its strong carbon potential, voluntary carbon market potentials, carbon credit supply in Indonesia, which is before is around 1.5 gigaton. The current, at least in 2021, yeah, still only 21 million. So 200 more, 200 times more the potential. Okay. All right, so it's a good transition for me to introduce CarbonX, how we can, meet that supply potential. Next. CarbonX is impact-driven companies. We want to leverage these potential carbon financings to invest in a carbon project, but that is our short-term visions. In long term, we want to invest also in any like ESG related projects. It can be also like climate tech solutions. Next. Yeah, we believe that we have the institutional financial capability. CarbonX was established in 2021 by seasoned investors. We have 6 founders or shareholders. So this is just an example of CarbonX business models. This is usual, a typical business model for a carbon project. It can be in various sectors. It can be like forestry. It can be for climate or hybrid, climate technology or hybrid solutions. And then we have, in this year, we are working with Air Carbon. Air Carbon is market exchange already established in Singapore. This is for a carbon market platform. We want to bring their platform in Indonesia because of this on the left side problem. Most of the carbon project in Indonesia is usually they transact internationally with an intermediary, meaning that they will cost more. Intermediary will, they will have an intermediary cost, of course, because they feel they have network internationally. And then there's no transparency in the pricing, because through intermediary, they know the price. They are directly who deals with the buyers. And we hope that by this market platform, we can reduce their problem. First, we want to increase the price transparency, because it's in a market platform. Everybody can see what kind of project with what kind of price. And then we want to ensure also the liquidity. It will really depends on the liquidity. It will really depends on the regulations, whether the government will open the domestic market through international market as well. So international buyer can also buy carbon credit nationally. That's really, it depends on the regulation. We will just comply with whatever the government regulate. And then there is also an auction capability, which is quite the same with what presented by Pak Ignatius. They will also have, in the IDX, will have the auction capability. Auction capability will very good for carbon project developer to see what is the actually my project price at. Just auction it. You can have the minimum price, and you can have bids from buyers. So it's a great platform to find your what is your carbon project price. So we hope to work with others stakeholder in Indonesia to make it happen. We can create the national carbon exchange platform in Indonesia. This is our project pipeline. It's not, 100%. It can be changed. It really depends on our negotiations. From Sumatra to Papua, they have all the various stages. Some we just, submit the license to governments for concessions. Some is in negotiation from concession owners. So in various stages. And we are not, we are, doesn't have like paid with CarbonX only for pit. No, we are quite liberal. We can invest in mineral soil, pit, or mangrove. Next slide. All right. So this is the targeted impact of CarbonX. We hope that by the next 2 years, we can develop carbon project in the 300,000 hectares, where we hope to reduce the emissions for 6 million and produce carbon credit for 4 million, protect biodiversity, and also involve communities, increasing their livelihood and also capacity. And we hope to create green job more than 400. Okay, I think that's my last slide. Thank you for your attention. We welcome if there's questions.
Thank you, Dessi. That's interesting. I especially like the last slide, the benefits, right? And we also include not just the traders, not just investors, not just owners of the landscape, but villages along the area of the concessions. We also benefit, I can't recall the other, but the benefits are there, not just for traders, not just for, but everybody. Yeah, that's nice. Let's put that in as a note for this discussion later. But for the benefit of our viewers who are still new to this issue of carbon trade or decarbonization, emission reduction, you mentioned voluntary carbon market. So there's an involuntary carbon market. Can you briefly, as simple as possible, describe what it is and what the differences are between those two? Yeah. And why is it still important to Indonesia? Please.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Lastia, for the questions. So we can maybe differentiate the market. One is compliance market. Compliance, you don't have no choice, you need to comply. So that's why a compliance market, where the governments usually issue a quota for each of the companies. Hi, this year you only have a quota for 100 ton of emissions, yeah. And then if not, then you need either to buy from companies that can, maybe have a surplus of quota. That's one. Depending on the government regulations, whether the government will introduce also offset activities in the market. The one who companies who already deficit carbon can buy in company who has a surplus or offsets. Very different from voluntary is because it's a voluntary. Private sectors voluntary buy carbon credit from projects because of usually because there are commitment to meet their emission reductions, commitment to meet net zero emissions. So that's the differentiate between compliance and voluntary.